Glass Onion is the sequel to the fantastic 2019 film Knives Out, written and directed by Rian Johnson. This sequel is a Netflix exclusive, but it was released in theaters for a week and I got to see it over the Thanksgiving weekend. I think it's coming out on Netflix at the end of December. This is an entertaining murder mystery comedy, but it didn't make as big of an impression on me as Knives Out. The basic plot is a group of wealthy friends are invited to their even wealthier friend's private island to spend the weekend partying and playing a murder mystery game. Daniel Craig's Detective Blanc mysteriously receives an invitation as well, and he soon discovers that they are playing this murder mystery game for keeps. There are a lot of things to like about this movie. Even though I despised The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson has been showing himself to be a talented director and writer. He seems to be very good at turning a genre on its head and, dare I say, subvert expectations. The beginning of the film is brilliant and it had a pretty satisfying conclusion. For the most part, it is very funny and there's a lot of clever camera work. I love how Rian Johnson will leave fake clues throughout the movie to trick you into thinking someone is the murderer. And these are very subtle clues, too. For example, there was a point in the movie where I saw someone just really quickly bump into someone else, and I thought I had discovered who the murderer was, but that incident wasn't even addressed in the rest of the film, but you could tell that it was deliberately put in there to throw you off track. I'm also glad they made Daniel Craig the main character of the movie. While Knives Out starred Ana de Armas as the main character, with Daniel Craig in a supporting role, Craig gets much more screen time here, and he is just hilarious with his exaggerated southern accent. I did have some issues with the movie. During the first 30 minutes, I was convinced that Glass Onion would be far superior to Knives Out, but then around the 45-minute mark, this movie just smashes into a brick wall. We get a ton of boring exposition about the founding of the company that Edward Norton owns. We get time jumps to the past showing how these people became friends, how certain characters ended up on the island, and I was actually shocked by how boring the movie became. Of course, it picked up towards the end, but the weak middle act really prevents Glass Onion from being a slam dunk. Even though I thought the movie was well cast, the friendship between these characters didn't seem believable. These people have absolutely nothing in common. The characters are also not as relatable as they were in Knives Out. Seeing a rich family who all secretly hate each other and are trying to cheat each other out of their father's inheritance is a familiar and believable setup. But in Glass Onion, seeing a bunch of models, YouTube content creators, politicians, and tech millionaires spending a weekend partying in a glass house in the shape of an onion seems too fantastical for its own good. I also feel the setting was wasted. The island that they are staying on is technologically advanced, and we get some funny scenes where people are accidentally triggering automatic appliances or smoke alarms, but it has no bearing on the story. What's the point of setting a comedy murder mystery in a glass high-tech smart house and then not have that environment contribute to the mystery? Even though the ending, where all of the clues come together and everything is revealed, was entertaining, I didn't like the ultimate resolution. It kind of felt like the ending of Ocean's 12. The two endings aren't necessarily similar in content, but similar in how they both left me with that empty feeling like, really? That's it? That's how you resolved this conundrum? If you have a Netflix subscription, then this movie is definitely worth a watch, but don't expect it to blow your mind like Knives Out.